Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amsterdam Talk Season 3, episode 27 or 28, I don't remember. But tonight we got a special guest in the house, the author of the Chronicles of ULY. If you're not familiar, from the Facebook group, the Chronicles of ULY, where he talks about his life and his triumphs and tribulations in his dating world. Oh shit, I got this on. Hold on. I got All right, so Chronicles Yulee talks about his triumphs and his tribulations in the dating world.
Mhm.
So recently something happened and he has to come on, so I'm letting him come on and explain his situation. There you go. Here's the floor for you, brother.
Okay. So I guess it'd be helpful, even though I wrote about it. You think it'd be helpful to take everybody from start to finish? Or
Yeah. I think it'd be yeah. Let's start at the part where you told her
okay.
that part and the response right there. We
Okay.
don't
So
I
my
don't think
trip.
no
All right, no
where you
problem.
met at or nothing like that.
So from the trip, I explained to her. Well, I kept my word on what I agreed to, which was to tell her if I slept with someone else.
Right.
Um, and so upon receiving that information, at first she hung up the phone. She was supposed to pick me up from the airport when I got back the next day,
Right.
um, and you know I really did think because she was so calm about it, and it was kind of like I was waiting on her to like I ain't know I felt like that wasn't gonna go over easy, but it did. But then I was kind of unsure because she was so calm on the FaceTime, and then so we hung up, and she was like, "I see you tomorrow." I was like, "All right, cool." And then she called back 5 minutes later, and when I saw the phone ringing, I was like, "Oh, well, here it come." You know what I'm saying? And long story short, man, like she just basically told me, like, "Hey, I won't be there tomorrow, so you have to figure that out." And I'll be sending your. I gave her like the last time she stayed at my place. I gave her. She didn't want to wear her dress home from the night before, so I gave her like some shorts, a jacket, t-shirt, kind of.
Gotcha.
And she was like, "I'll be sending you your stuff back." And she left her heels with me because I gave her a pair of slides too. So she left her heels at my house.
Right.
And so she was like, "Yeah, just when you get back, just mail me my stuff, and I'll mail you your stuff now." And then she was like, "Okay, they're cool with you?" And I was like, stuck. Like I was stuck. I was waiting on her to be like, I'm just playing. Or I ain't know. I was just kind of. It took me a minute to kind of digest that, and
Right.
I just was like, okay. And she was like, okay, cool. And then she hung up. And about 10 minutes later, I got a tracking number. Like she wasn't playing, and so she emailed me a tracking number, sent my stuff to my house, and I got back the next day. Got a ride home. Um, Then she asked me if I could meet her. She had to come to. So I live in Fort Lauderdale. She lives in Miami. She asked me if I could meet her in Hollywood, which is like the midway point,
Right.
to bring the shoes. And so I agreed to do that because I wasn't working the next day. And so I drove to the place, to the spot, and she said she was running late. So I went in a shoe store to kill some time. So I started, doing some retail therapy and stuff. She ends up walking in the store, and so I was like, "Hey, okay, cool. I walk outside with me. I'll get you your bag." And I wanted to keep it short because I didn't want. I mean, obviously, I didn't feel like she wanted um, to discuss anything with me because
Right.
there was a time period that went by where she didn't try to have a dialogue about it. So I was like, "All right, cool."
Right.
Um, and so I get to the car, and I reach in there, I hand her her bag, and I was like, "Okay, take care." And I
Mm.
started walking off. And as I'm walking off, like, I'm walking back toward the store. My bag is to her. And she's like, I knew this would end us, right? So I'm not laughing at her, but I'm just like laughing at how like the scene played out. Like
Right.
it was it was uh it was really like dramatic, like kind of like some movie stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because then right when I turned around, it started like drizzling outside, right? And I was like, man, I was like, I can't do this with you here. I just can't do this here because we could have had a conversation up until this point, And if you
Right.
think I'm gonna stand out here and talk about this in the rain, I'm just not on that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, and she was like, "Well, let's go over there where it's not raining." Then, and I was just like, "Okay, that's cool." Um, and so when we were standing out there, um, she just was really like borderline getting emotional,
Mm-hmm.
like and so she asked me a couple questions, and I explained to her. I was like, basically, I never. You gotta believe me when I say I never intended to hurt your feelings. Like I never intended to hurt. I I made a decision. Um, we was lit. I'm really don't want to come up with a whole bunch of excuses, but technically, we're dating. I understand we're dating with an intention, but
Right.
we're not committed, and we didn't have the conversation about exclusivity prior to me leaving, and so technically I didn't do anything wrong, and like I'm not discrediting how you feel, but I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Right.
don't. It's not that I'm not trying to be a monster about it. I don't really know I don't have nothing else for you on that. Um, but I do respect your decision, and it does make sense of how you took it the way you took it, and why you feel the way you feel. And I'm sorry
Right.
that's what happened. Um, and I said, thinking back on it, I think that I made the mistake by committing myself to reporting to you about um, my sex life in the space where we weren't committed. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I should have done different. Um, I don't think that I should have to report to somebody that I'm not exclusive with. But I did. I was honest with you until she was like, she basically made a case of me not being able to like control myself, and she don't know how she would be able to like forgive me and move forward, or whatever, because she can't trust me. She wouldn't be able to trust me. You know what I'm saying? As far as she could see me, um, and so that stuck with me, and I was kind of offended in a sense, but I had to kind of think outside myself because like one, I was thinking like, well, damn, how do you not trust the person who told you the truth? Like, how does that work? Like, you know what I mean? Like, technically, I did the most trustworthy thing you you could do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because had I not said anything, you'd have never known.
Right.
But then also, you know, I just thought that a lot of damage was done there, and I seen how that affected her, and I didn't feel good about it. And so, we had that conversation, and then um, she called again, um, like crying a day later, like asking the same questions. And I answered those, and then she was like, she told me, she said that she bought tickets because before I left, she asked me to go to this rooftop movie thing. They were showing like some kind of movie. I think it was one of the black classics they were showing on a
Okay.
rooftop in Miami somewhere. And I was like, okay, cool. When I get back, yeah, we can go. And she was like, okay, I'll grab the tickets. So then she brought that up. And so after she slept on it or whatever like that, she called me back and, and was emotional. She was like, I bought these tickets and I'm in a confused space, and I still like you, and I want us to go to the show. I still want us to go, and so I felt like I didn't think that was a great idea, and I explained to her. I was like, look, it ain't that I don't want to go with you, but I just think like it's so much. It's this space is so uneasy right now. I don't think seeing us spending time together is like healthy, especially when you know, you trying to go in another direction, and and I'm about to go in another direction too. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that's a good idea. I
Right.
think that'd be kind of toxic. You know what I'm saying? And then so then we had the agreement on that was I think that was like a Thursday. Um, the agreement was for us to kind of like just take a week of space, and then
Mm-hmm.
the movie was the following Friday, and we was just gonna connect, you know, on that Thursday before and make a final decision on if we were gonna go or not.
Right.
So then weekend goes by. Now we at Tuesday. So Tuesday comes and I haven't called. She hasn't called. And she called me and was like, "Yeah, I want to move. I want to be a girlfriend." like just like awesome. Basically, like I want us to get back to where we were. Basically, that was the main message. She was
Right.
like, well, I thought about it, and I talked to my therapist, and I talked to my homegirls, and you know, and she apologized for how she initially reacted, because she said she reacted from a state of emotion instead of actually giving it time to process. You know,
That's normal.
and
That's normal.
and so I was like, okay, I accept your apology. That's fine. And so I just let her talk. She had the floor, and so she was just talking about like, yeah, I just talked about like our connection and stuff like that, and how she wants to um, do whatever's necessary to get back to that point. Um, but then she still said in the same breath that she would have issues like with the trust part, right?
Right.
And so after saying that, like I'm sitting. Then it was time for me to respond, and I'm just like, I I'm not gonna lie, like I can't be in a space where I'm all in from a trusting perspective, and then you looking at me out the side of your eye, not trusting me. That's not. I don't think a relationship should start off with like that. You know what I mean? Like, and so you know, I'm not gonna sign up for that. I gotta make the best decision for me, basically, in that sense. And so, and she was like, she said there's a couple other things like, well, it just takes time, and you know, I'm not gonna always be as emotional and things like that. And so, I ended the conversation by saying like, hey, you said a lot. Just give me some time. Just give me like a couple days or something, and I get back to you. And so
Right.
that was when, um, so I slept on it that night, and then I wrote the Chronicle the next day saying what I had came up with. And that was a Wednesday. No,
Right.
I was supposed to give. I wrote the Chronicle on Tuesday. I was supposed to give. I don't know if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, but I know I was supposed to tell her on a Wednesday, right? So now Wednesday get there, like now I'm back to work. I I'm running late. Basically, I had a swamp day, right? Just like, and I never got around to like. I made a point to call her. I'm like, nah, I ain't called. Damn. Then the next day was my dad's birthday, so
Right.
it was the whole. You know what I'm saying? I'm the whole day. I'm going. I'm going. Me and the old man hanging out. Okay, cool. So I was like, you know what? I asked for a couple days anyway. I'm still within the time frame. I'm gonna tell her first thing Friday morning, right?
Right.
Friday morning gets here. What day is it? Not Tuesday. So last Friday gets here, and I wake up to a text message. The text message
Mm-hmm.
says, I'm gonna read it to you, Rod. I'm gonna read it to you right
Okay. Here's the
now.
text message. We got questions, but I'm gonna let you finish what you're saying because
Yeah.
there's some questions over here.
So the text message says, hold on, let me go. Okay. Oh, she's the one in the gray. Duh. Okay. Hey, I was hoping you figured out if you wanted to be my person or not, because if you did, I really need you right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I call her. Right? And I call her. I'm like, okay, what's going on with you? And so she's like in tears and just like, so somebody died. She had a death in her family,
Okay, shut the death.
and
Okay.
somebody close to her. And I originally called to tell her, what I came up like, that I wasn't gonna move forward with with talking to her, with dating her, and I was just going, going another direction, and, you know, and I just couldn't do it. Like
Right.
after she told me, I just couldn't do it, and so that's currently where we are. I called her twice that day just to kind of check on her mental, um, see how she was doing and stuff like that. She did say a couple. Um, she made one comment like about it, and I kind of like avoided it, um, and she was like, well, basically about me saying that I was gonna think about it, and then like, and so she was like, well, you can think all you want, we go together now. I see you on Valentine's Day, and I was just like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
See you on Valentine's Day.
yeah, yeah, shit was wild. I couldn't tell
That's
her
like
that.
6 months away.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Listen, man, hey, I'm just telling you what. So and so I don't know if she was. I don't know if she was jumping serious. I think obviously I don't think she was serious. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. It was just. I guess it was something to lighten the mood. I don't know, but either way, um, that's where we are now. And now I'm on a work trip, and just kind of just we haven't spoken in like 2 days, and so um, I know I planned on calling her back because she was talking about trying to figure out the travel arrangements to get to the funeral and stuff like that. She was kind of dealing with that and getting with family and stuff like that and making arrangements. And so I kind of just kind of fell back, with the intention on following back up. And so I intended to do just that.
Well, I got a question to say. Well, Ava seemed like she answered it. Said, someone asked, how long were you guys dating? And then Ava said, like 2 months. Some
Yeah, two
said,
months.
2 months?
2 months. Yeah.
Okay, they were dating for 2 months. Okay. Let's go back to this question up here before you get back to where you was at before these questions go up. Looking back, would you agree to disclose your transactions to a third party again?
No.
I don't. Go
What you
ahead. You can
mean?
answer.
What you mean
Huh?
third? What you mean third party? What do you mean?
The third party meaning the group.
Oh, um, no, I don't.
You
I
know the
don't have a.
comment
I don't
that
have a
you
problem.
used
No,
off.
I don't have an issue telling, like, as far as writing about it in the group. I don't have an issue with that. Like, because I'm not. I never disclosed anybody can go back to anything I've ever wrote in that group. I've never disclosed anybody's name.
Which is true.
I talk about my experiences from my perspective. I do
Right.
understand that. I do understand that the women are not there to tell their side. There's always multiple sides to a story, but I do my absolute best to lay out the facts of things that happen in the chronological order. And
Right.
and I give like I engage when people have questions, and I answer them, and I'm always honest. And so the thing is, I think I have the right to tell to if I look at the lounges, and I do have friends in the lounge and stuff like that. Like, um, if writing about things that I'm going through is therapeutic for me, then I continue to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily have to. I don't have to share, but my purpose for sharing, I'll disclose this again, even though I've said it multiple times. The purpose of me writing my story or sharing certain things in that group or in any other on any other platform, it's a singles lounge, and so in my mind, I'm like, okay, we can take authentic things that happen, right, and have a
Mm-hmm.
healthy discourse about it because it's not something that we just throwing shit. I mean, well, I'm sorry, I don't want to curse
Man,
on
say
the
what
show.
you gonna say.
Yeah, we just throwing shit at the wall and just
Right.
having some kind of gender war online about it, and that
Right.
happens online all the time. But I would think that just by having this is a real life situation, and I'm pretty sure that in a lounge, let's say call it 3,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
somebody's had a similar experience. You know what I'm saying? That can relate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or somebody's, and I'm younger than most of the people that comment for the most part. Like, people have been where I'm at, and so sometimes like even me sharing is not just is helpful for me because I get it out right,
Right.
and then two, you know, like I even sometimes I take some stuff people say with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna lie, I don't take everybody advice, but
Can't.
people have been where I'm at, and so I do read what people have to say and things like that. As long as it's respectful, and it's not always respectful, but hey, that happens. But you
It's
know,
the internet.
I do, yeah, I do read what people have to say, and I do like the discourse over time because people have they give they individual like how they feel about certain stuff, and then like some of that stuff comes from stuff that's going on in their daily life. Or I didn't have read comments before where people just be like, hey, well, when I was in that situation, this happened, or in my experience, this I wouldn't do that. You better than me because blah blah blah.
Right.
And so I think that's helpful for the space, honestly.
So,
So to answer your question, to wrap it all up, yes, I would. I would share. Yes, I would.
did the rain make you emotional?
Did the rain make me emotional? No.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The rain actually like I had to refrain from laughing, not because I wasn't like I was just like, man, really, like it just felt like a movie scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like so. Um, but it's not that I didn't take her serious or nothing like that because I did address it head on. But I was just like, man, you can't make this stuff up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So no, I didn't get emotional.
Uh, how about disclosure to your boo thing that's not your committed boo thing? What? Do you think it's fair of you to ask of you? about disclosure to your boo thing that's not your committed boo thing?
No. If look at bottom line, moving forward, right? One of the biggest takeaways that I got from the situation was I will never again put myself in a predicament where I have to report my sex life with somebody I'm not committed to.
Right.
I'm even thinking about telling women moving forward, hey man, just assume that it's somebody else the whole time. That way it ain't no, we ain't gotta get here. You know what I'm saying? Unless I have the conversation with you or you bring the conversation to me saying, hey, I want it to just be me and you. You know what I mean? And then we have that dialogue, and whatever that dialogue results in, we'll move forward from that regard, whether it's us moving closer or further away from each other. But I can't do that no more. That's not healthy.
Well, it's either damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because either way, if you said no, lie on a mission, or you said yes, which you did say yes,
Mm-hmm.
truth is always hard to swallow. And I don't know why some people decide to say I want the truth, knowing that shit gonna hurt. Um,
Well, I mean, that's that you would have to talk to her about that. But I
but
know
at
me
the end of the
personally.
day,
Okay,
she's
go ahead.
not your woman, so she's lucky you even fucking answered.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm gonna be honest about it. She didn't ask. I told her. So this is how my thought process was. We got on the FaceTime, and then I was telling her about how the trip was going, right?
Right,
And I felt like it'd be extremely flawed of me to tell her everything else that happened and not address what I told her I would tell her in the event that it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
right,
not keep my word on that. And in my experience, if you drag something out, it makes it worse, right?
right.
So I was man enough to make the decision. I need to be man enough to come on. Hey, look. So look. This happened. Okay, cool, all that. But I also got to holler at you about this. I did this happen. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it wasn't malicious, but I just felt the need to stand on that.
I don't know why they entertain this. They talking about where y'all going for Valentine's. That's 6 months down the line, and
We not going nowhere for Valentine's Day, man.
you need
Like
some
she caught me off
plaid,
guard with that one.
you need some plaid, traditional plaid Santa pajamas, or some black Santa ones for
Nah,
Christmas.
G. Nah, G. No matching pajamas and nothing like that. I think she's a phenomenal person, though. I will say that. I think she's a really really good catch. I think that it's just this just didn't work out, and that's okay, man. Like, what gave me calm in the situation, like, cause I sit and think about these things too, man. Like,
Right,
at the end of the day, I only got to get it right once, right? Like, if I'm supposed to be with one person and have one wife, and I only need to get this right one time. So
right,
in the time, my intention and what I aim to do with every experience is not only learn something from every experience, but apply myself better every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Take what I learned from the last and just keep, and that's part of working on myself, man. It's not so much as playing in women's faces, is I'm trying to do as I go. Now I ain't trying to date everybody intentionally. I'm not gonna tell that lie. But the ones that I do take those shots with, I really do leave my best foot forward and try to do things the right way. I just went out of town and wild with my friends, man. At the end of the day, that's what happened, bro.
well, you were in the DR, and I expect no less, brother.
But that's not to say that. That's not to say that because we go on guys trips every year.
I,
That's not to
I
say that
get
that
it.
happens every year.
No, no,
You
I'm
know
not
what I'm saying?
saying that part that you went to wild. Yeah, you went. The thing is, like, you went on a trip.
Yeah.
Nothing that probably wasn't planned, but sometimes circumstances happen and shit happens where you faced with a decision that you have to make.
Right. Full
So,
disclosure. I abstained when I first got there. I was trying to. I was like trying to. I'm gonna tell you what the turning point was, Rod. I'm gonna keep it all the way above with you, dog. Like, so, it was night two. I believe it was night two.
mhm,
So before we went out, man, like I was telling the homies, like, because one of the homies actually, and he in the lounge. I'm not gonna disclose his name, but he
I
in the
got
lounge
you.
too, and he's currently talking to a young lady. They not exclusive, but he thinking about making the jump, right? So me and him was in the same boat, and so we all rapping. We sitting around, we talking, and I was like, and I made the comment. I said, man, I don't know y'all boys. I kind of like it, man. I might lock in when I go back home, right? And
Right.
so them boys was like, man, well, that's why this is literally what one of them said. bruh say, damn, that's why you ain't fucked nothing last night. And so I was like, man, I mean, yeah, dog. Like I don't really know. Like I don't. And then so my other homeboy was like, man, shit. Well, if you gonna do all that, you might as well just treat this like a bachelor weekend then, and just you know what I'm saying, and then go back home and just lock it, you know,
Right.
and uh. And then I went out and did that shit, man. And so, um, like looking back, I don't know, man. I was already in a jaded space anyway because I was just like, man, damn, I kind of want to. I like you playing double dutch. You like, should I not, should I? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then it's like, yeah, y'all not committed though, bro. You're not in the wrong. And yeah,
But
so that's how it happened, man. But
comments over here from women saying, if she didn't ask, I wouldn't have said nothing. So is honesty the best policy? You know, you got shit.
yes, it's always the best policy, man. You
Is
ain't gotta.
withholding the truth actually telling a lie?
Absolutely, omission is a form of lying. You can look it up in the dictionary. Like, like I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit up here and play dumb
Right.
and try to curve it to where it would benefit. Listen, if I told the young lady that, well, I told that woman that in the event that I slept with another person, that I would let her know, and I expected her to do the same thing back. Now, I went up, regardless of what the situation was, regardless of peer pressure, any other pre-qualifying reason. I did that, and so
Right.
now you do that. So now you stand on what it is that you said. Like it's just that simple.
She said.
We ain't gotta complicate it. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and I lead with that because if I'm dealing with somebody, I expect that back, and I'll be able to handle it. I promise I will. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's just a result of treat people the way I want to be treated.
That is truthful. That is definitely what is they saying. The truth, the the true truth, just the basic superficial truth. Um, I don't know what they're going at
I
with
don't know that.
that, but
No doubt.
huh?
I say I don't know about that one. But in
Yeah, I don't
case
know.
the saying is true, the truth did set me free though, because she definitely cut me loose like right after.
So my question would be, and I understand where you coming from with this saying, as though I know your situation about your family that you have to travel to go see your family and things of that
Mhm.
nature.
Yeah.
And she says she would never be able to look at you the same that you're going somewhere. But now, say if she comes back, once her head is clear, because it's all emotional right now. So once her head is clear and she like, you know what, I gotta build this trust on you. Let's just go from there. What happened, happened. Fuck it. Let's just go forth with this. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to work it out, or just
Nah,
say no? I'm standing on where I'm already at.
nah, I'm at a place. I'm at a place where I made a decision, man. Because I don't genuinely, and the reason why is like, and I think I wrote that in what I said on the last post, man. I don't genuinely feel like in my gut that she literally. Sometimes when you're emotional, you feel a way about a person, and I think
Mm-hmm.
we've all been there. You can like psychologically try to trick yourself into being all right with something that you're not really all right with, or that you in order to get the end result that you feel like you want. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
you're human.
and
You're human.
so I think that's what she was doing, and like when I think about like her tone and like and how emotional she was and how she was like saying some things that were kind of contradictory when we was talking verbally, it's just like it just didn't feel to me like she really was in a space where she would be okay on the go forward, like, or it wouldn't be some kind of like some kind of hesitation, and that spills over into the relationship, right? Because
Right.
I can't be, I'm operating at this frequency and then you down here, and
No.
every time I say I'm about to go somewhere, or every time I say I'm about to go hang out with my friends, or every time women around, or you know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
um it's kind of one of those things that's just tainted on the go for it. And I think like as the men, like we lead these situations, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we and so sometimes you do, in my experiences, and I've wrote about a couple chronicles. You sometimes you got to save people from themselves, man.
You
And
do.
in efforts to protect your own peace in the end, right? Because
Right.
that would frustrate the hell out of me. Like, 'cause for us to have a conversation, quote unquote hash it out, we
Mm-hmm.
let it go, we moving forward, and then something comes up, now you bringing up this, that, and that, and that, and how you didn't feel about that over there. It's like, nah, see, because that made me feel like you've been holding on to this the whole time. You never truly let it go, and like what we got is false. You know, it's
Right.
not. The foundation is false, and I don't think I can. I couldn't progress with that, and so I that's the main thing I thought about, and you know, that's why I came to that decision, man. And it's not to say that, you know, like I said, it's not to say that she's not a phenomenal woman and that I'm not a good dude. It's just that it just didn't work out with us two.
I get it. And I definitely like where you standing at with, especially when you got to go visit your family.
Yeah,
And that would be the real, problem, because you're trying to be an excellent dad, excellent all of that,
yeah,
and you bitching to me because I'm going to do what I need to do.
yeah,
So I get
yeah,
it.
yeah. Or anytime or even work stuff. Like, right, I'm in New York right now. Like, it's, you know,
It's a million women, single women in New York.
I don't know. It's my first time up here, man. I'm excited. Not about that. Not about that though. But just like the no the meetings and stuff, and yeah, it's a big week for me. It's a good thing to
Well,
have. So yeah.
there's a nice young lady that lives in the Bronx on Fordham Road named Ice Spice. If you
Man, I don't know if I got the emotional wherewithal right now to kind of even like really jump in and like nothing too serious. You kind of I was dating her intentionally, so you kind of you got to digest somebody out your system before you start dating somebody else intentionally. You kind of got to take some time and do that. I ain't saying you can't kick it here and there, but all that deep in the rap stuff, you can't. You know, you kind of gotta give it a little bit, a little moment.
Well, that's a good point right there, because you got motherfuckers out here these days that'll break up on Tuesday and be with somebody else on Wednesday. They
Yeah,
don't give themselves, like you said, the emotionally digest or get them out your system at all. They just
but be
jump
with
in.
somebody like how, like, cause you can hook up with them on Thursday.
Yeah. You can hook up with a person easily.
But but as far as putting that the time energy that it takes to really invest yourself and get in walking that path or getting to know another person, it takes something about you. It really do.
It do.
Um, and so, I be trying to, man. That's why I be trying to be so careful and selective about who but I'm human just like everybody else. I might see somebody who just be like breathtaking to me, and I'm just go all in. I ain't gave them a chance. I ain't vetted them properly. You know what I mean? Like, I make those mistakes too. And so, we all work in progress. I don't think I ever have it all figured out, but all I can do is just keep trying, bro.
And that's all you can do. Because I got a homeboy that, 20 years married, blah, 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 divorced now. And he's just like, yo, them 20 years drain me. And like you said, I just want to kick it. That's plain and simple. I don't want to do nothing else.
Yeah,
I'm drained.
for real,
20 years. I just want to hang out.
for real.
We can go from there, but I let you know, this is what his words is. I let you know up front, this is what I'm trying to do. We can eat, have fun, but that's
Dog,
as far as it's going.
dog, that ain't that. I'm telling you, like, look, you can tell. You can tell them till you blue in the face. You could be totally. I'm talking about like, hey, I don't want nothing from you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, don't I'm talking about totally transparent. But in my experience, if you start to treat them a certain
Mm-hmm.
way, right? If you start to and here's the thing, and I talked to my trusted female friends about this, and so I can understand this. Like, if like the way I move may not be the way that she's accustomed to a man moving, right? So
Right.
what may be my normal may be extraordinary for her, or it may be the bare minimum for her because I ain't sitting up here saying that I'm doing.
Right.
But you know what I think is just like normal, like treating you like a decent human being. Like, if I'm ordering something to eat, I just order enough for two, and then you can come. Yeah, so yeah, I got your food, and yeah, I'm not gonna kick you out at 3 in the morning. And yeah, if you want to talk about something, you could come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, if we go out, I'm gonna pick up the tab. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna open the door for you. You know what I mean? Like, and so just treating them like the way I was taught to treat them,
Mm-hmm.
even if you telling them up front, in their mind they feeling like, oh, he liked me because he opened doors, or he spending time, or he did this, or he did, you know what I'm saying, or we connected in this way, you know what I mean. And so um that shit should go out the window, Rod. And
Yeah.
without you even knowing, like, you could be sitting there being peaceful, and all of a sudden in her mind, y'all go together. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
when you like if your behavioral pattern changes in any way, you sometimes you become the bad guy because like, oh, now you inconsistent, now you just like the rest of them, now it's fuck boy energy, now you misled me, now it's, you know what I'm saying, when you can literally say what it is or what space you operating in, you know what I'm saying, or what, and it's just, or when they find out you might be entertaining another woman, or you know what I'm saying. So all because you've made them feel like a priority in your space, all because you made them feel like, because your actions made them feel like X,
Right.
you know. And so I can understand it to a certain extent, which is why I try to be mindful of that. But at the same time, it's stressful to try to worry about my emotions, yours, plus what I'm telling you, plus what you understanding from what I told you, plus how you feeling about what I told you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it's a lot, and so sometimes it can be overwhelming, and you just, sometimes you want to fall back, but then at the same time you like women, so it's like, oh, here we go again. And so it's just a lot, bro.
Well, you got some comments. Aren't the Hoochie Daddy Hunters in Miami? Yeah, someone's been listening to Sexy Red. You need to get some Hoochie Daddy shorts.
Nah,
Uh,
I don't want to be associated with nothing that got to do with hoochie.
what the hell are you? Hoochie, what the hell am I talking about being quiet? Women will try to change our minds when we say that, which is true. I mean, it's all a game. You know, if you say you don't want this, they'll try to
For
change
sure,
change your mind as well.
for sure, for sure.
So, and somebody just said it isn't your fault that they created a whole story in their mind.
Yeah, but
And
then when you say that, if you move as if, okay, well shit, that's on you. That ain't my fault. Boo. Then at that point, it's like you get painted to be inhumane, or just like, oh, you just ruthless, you just savage, you know what I'm saying. It's like, bruh, I'm not a monster, like, you know what I'm saying,
right,
but I can't play the emotional gymnastics with you. Like,
right.
take what I said at face value, right? If you
Mhm.
choose to coexist in that space, whatever comes with that, then okay. If not, then okay. You know what I'm saying? Because on the flip side, I'm expected as the guy to be able to navigate my emotions.
Right,
If any of these women was to tell me, hey, you know what, man, I'm gonna go on over here and date buddy. You know what I'm saying? I got to be able to take that. I can't be walking around thinking about snatching no ties, going to hurt this dude, and you out on social media. You know, that'd be simp behavior, right?
right.
By definition, you know.
Yeah, right.
And so, why I can't get that back?
Who knows? Who
I'm
knows
not
why
saying
you
that
can't
all
get
women
it
like
back?
that, though. I'm not saying that all women are like that, but it's
God.
the majority just leaning the other way, in my experience. You know. Oh, I can't hear you no more, Rod. You gotta take them off, G.
There we go.
All right,
It's
all
like
right, all right. Back, we back.
it's no two things like a snowflake. You go through stuff, I go through stuff, the next man go through stuff. It's never no two things, like a snowflake. But the way that you put it down and your what you talking about in your chronicles, like you said, there may be somebody out there who might be going through something at that same time. Just like next week, we going for infertility next week. There might be some man or some woman out here that can't have babies, but this person coming on is trying to help you cope through it.
Yeah,
So there's always somebody going through something at
yeah.
all times, you
It's
know.
healthy. It's healthy to be. It's healthy to share. It's healthy to be authentic. You know,
Mhm.
and because you know, I understand that if like I'm not a person that just I want to maintain a certain persona and hold and bottle everything in to make people feel like I'm okay. Nah, shit,
Right,
man. I'm gonna talk about this affected me like this. I'm gonna talk about it, and I could even make some humor out of it or whatever like that. But we can connect, and then like it makes me feel better when I get it out. You know what I'm saying? And now, you know, I don't have to walk around carrying that. Like, I think just our society as a whole, man, everybody want to make it seem like they got it all together, or they got all this stuff figured out, and we all running the same race, bro. Like it's help in community. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
If people willing to actually um, have these dialogues, you know what I'm saying, or share these viewpoints, and when I say like sharing viewpoints, it's not so much in an attack style. You know what I mean? If you notice, even when people say things that are not really pleasant on my posts, I still try to keep it, respectful. You know what I mean? And I still try to engage with them to try to understand whatever point they're making or whatever like that. It's just I'm just not as receptive when you make personal character comments, but you know, you can be objective. You don't have to always agree. You know what I'm saying? Like what somebody got going on, but do understand the different types of personalities out there. Like what I'm saying, and learn how to delineate between the two, or between multiple. You know what I'm saying? Because we encounter all different types of people.
I got you. But we're glad to get to the bottom of it. I ain't gonna hold you much longer, so we're gonna slide into the I be damn part, and then you can go get yourself something to
What's
eat.
the I be damn part?
No, this is the way the shit I post on, the shit I read off my phone. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Get involved, dog.
So, so she said I met a good man when he was having a hard time in his personal life. He was legally married, but they slept in different beds. He was trying to leave her, but didn't have the money. So I gave him my credit card to help him with legal expenses. He maxed out my credit card, 12K. We were on FaceTime discussing what he bought and how he's going to pay me back when his wife walked in the room and climbed on top of him. His wife picked up his phone and said, "We appreciate your donation." She smirked at me before hanging up. He told me he wasn't sleeping with his wife anymore, which was a lie. He's not responding to my call/text message. I just want my money back. How?
She fried. She goofy as hell for that.
Shit
No,
rough out.
man.
Only thing I
Nah,
can
yeah,
tell is small claims court.
yeah, man. Nah. I think we can all agree that yeah, she deserved to be damned because that's ridiculous.
Right.
Nah,
That's just I be damned. She gave
now
out
those
12.
are still see those are type of stories like that. Like I have a hard time believing that happens in real life.
Shit
Like,
does though,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Because I couldn't even fathom that. Like that's crazy.
Shit happens like that though. People help you out, and I mean, first and foremost, me just looking at it from my perspective. If you telling me me and my husband still together, we just sleeping in different bed. Nah, that's automatic right there. Nah, I'm good.
Okay,
If you told me
so
y'all was separated and y'all live in different houses, I think about it. But y'all still staying in the same roof? No.
no, it's still a bad investment, and she found that out the hard way.
Right.
No, no.
And
Well,
as bad as
you
the
gotta
wife
understand,
told me.
it's still his wife. Until it's not his wife, that is when you can proceed. But until then, he's contractually bound to another person. So no,
Right. So he was in a bind, and he paid the bills with that 12K that she gave him.
that was very fiscally responsible of him.
Yeah. So go ahead, man, and thank you for coming through. Enjoy yourself in New York. How long you up there for?
I'll be back Florida. I leave on Friday, man. So packed day with meetings tomorrow and Thursday. Got some stuff going on tomorrow night with the team and everything. I'm actually about to go to a dinner right now, and yeah, man, I'm actually it's just all business, and then I head back home on Friday. So
I got you.
yeah,
Got you. So next week we coming on Wednesday at 8 p.m. With Dr. Francis, and she's talking about suffering from infertility. So next week, suffering from infertility, and she's going to help people get over that. Men who can't have kids, women who can't have kids. So we're going to close it out like that next week. So thank you for coming through with your
nah, man.
chronicles.
Thanks for
You
having me,
welcome
bro.
anytime. You want to come tell us a story?
All right, I got you, man. Y'all be safe.
Somebody said, "Have fun in New York."
Yo, later.
Later.